Hello. There we go. That's a little better.
Is it?
How are you? Been hanging out with you for the past 2 hours.
I know. You have. You're in my house.
Yeah. How's your basement doing? Is it still empty? Does it still need
next week, actually, so this weekend I'm going to have Irish people staying in it.
Wow.
Our friend Veronica.
Yes.
Her friend from Ireland. And our cop friend Mike. Next week, as you can see by the diagram here.
Oh, wow. You have a calendar.
I do have an actual old-timey calendar. From the 14th into, what does it say right there?
Dutch.
The Dutch are coming.
The Dutch Mantel?
I'm going to...
Your dad?
Dutch Mantel. No. That is super clever, what you just did there. No, actually not my dad. That is a very clever wrestling tie.
His dad looks a lot like... what's his character? What's his name when he's with Swagger?
My God, now I've totally forgot his name.
Wow, we just blanked on that.
Yeah.
We've been drinking a few sodas.
Yeah,
so,
we have. Oh, come on. What's his name? Uncle Zebekiah, Zeb Coulter. Zeb Coulter is where it's so. Yeah. So Zeb Coulter, Dutchman. And my dad has the beard. Same deal. No.
So you're having Dutch people?
Dutch relatives are coming and staying in my basement.
Holy cow.
So
for the whole month.
Yeah, I know.
What are you going to do?
I've made a mistake.
How are you going to watch wrestling?
What? They're not coming upstairs.
Oh, okay.
I'm staying in my basement. I have a whole apartment down there.
The lock on it.
People probably think, like, I live in this elaborate home with, like,
Your house
an apartment.
Is nice.
It's fine. It's a 2-bedroom bungalow. And this is a very small bedroom if this were a bedroom.
Jason
I couldn't do it.
Jason has a fine home here in Etobicoke. Yeah.
Tonight, we really don't have time to dilly-dally.
No, usually this is the show.
Well, you have your ride sitting and waiting on the couch.
Shane is waiting, watching Breaking Ground as we record this. We all sat at Jason's house and watched TakeOver, The End, with our friend Shane and our friend Bartender Dave.
Bartender Dave was here. And Bartender Dave, I mean, he's our bartender. Mm-hmm. And what do we call him? Like Vegan Chef Dave now, too?
I mean, yeah, we need a new name for him because he's a miracle. He's amazing. He should have his own show.
He's a miracle.
Screw Mike Bennett. He's the miracle. He made vegan chili.
Yeah, it was good.
It was very good.
Yeah, I had 4 bowls of it.
7 bowls? No.
I had 4 bowls of it. There's 1 more bowl waiting, and I'm going to eat after doing this podcast.
Wow.
It's very good. I bought sourdough bread. So thank you, Bartender Dave, for coming over and feeding us. For the record, I never asked him to bring anything, but he's like, my mom always told me to bring things. So today... he's like, Jason, I'm going to bring some. I'm going to bring vegan chili. It'll be great. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm totally down with that. That's great. Yes. I got beer.
I was excited.
And then, come over, hang out. He shows up. Yes, he's got the slow cooker in his hand.
A giant slow cooker.
And then along with it, he hands me 4 DVDs.
4? There's 5 movies out there.
No, it's 4. There's Dazed and Confused, My Cousin Vinny, Beethoven, but it's all 3 of them.
I'm probably going to take that.
You take that one. And then there was one more.
Unforgiven.
Oh, an Unforgiven.
Not a WWE pay-per-view.
Oh, was it?
No, it's
I looked at it and I totally thought it was. So it's a Clint Eastwood movie.
Yeah, the
Clint Eastwood movie, I think. All right, so he brings that. And then he just randomly hands me a box of Captain Crunch. No, sorry, a box of Mini Wheats. Yes. Because he had the choice at the store. It was going to be Mini Wheats or Captain Crunch.
I think he made the wrong choice, but...
I don't know. I don't eat cereal.
Oh.
I told him, I'm like, do your kids want this? And he's like, no. I'm like, okay.
They would like the Captain
I don't know what to do.
Well, I'm taking Beethoven 1, 2, and 3 because
Judge
Reinhold in number 3 is.
Well, you haven't seen Dazed Confused. You should probably take that.
I know. I was judged because I've never seen it in full. I've seen parts. I've seen what's on TV, but I've never seen it full. So I'll take it and I'll watch it.
All right. So,
it has nothing to do with NXT TakeOver at the end, but
no. I just want to get to that. It was a good show tonight, but it wasn't the best show.
No, I feel like I'm always in my head at least when I watch something. Like a wrestling match or a takeover where I'm like, okay, now are they going to top what they did last time? Do you always have to top what you've done?
Well, clearly no. I don't think it's a matter of topping. I think when you get to events like when you deal with Brooklyn or you deal with WrestleMania for NXT, there might be an essence of topping. With the other ones, and even with those to a degree, I think it's a matter of doing something different. And we did get that on this pay-per-view because we had the cage. Yes. And the cage is something the first time. And we had a title change that you were expecting. I wasn't. I think part of the lackluster nature... it wasn't lackluster. Listen, it was a good show.
Yes.
But it just wasn't a great show. And part of that was due to the lack of female talent on the show. I mean, you only have Asuka and Nia. Once again, they made the mistake of putting Asuka on after Nakamura, and I'll talk about that when we're doing the breakdown, because there were some aspects that were similar in the two matches. And you didn't have the Bayley drama. Gone are Charlotte, Sasha, and Becky. Mm-hmm. So that aspect of the show is now completely lacking. And Nia Jax can't live up to what we used to have as far as women's wrestling on these cards.
Well, this is the first takeover in a year that Bayley has not been a part of. Yeah. Bayley has been in every single one.
She was there.
Yeah, she was, and they showed her backstage once or twice. But she was in the Fatal 4-Way back in the day. She was in when she went against Charlotte, and then when she finally defeated Sasha in the rematch. Like, she's been constantly delivering, and then now we just don't have her on it. So it was strange. It was like missing something. She's Mrs. Takeover.
It was missing her.
Yeah. Well, you clearly missed Bayley.
I do. I just missed the quality of her match as well, right? Or the quality of a top tier female. I mean, Nia and Asuka was fine. It just wasn't what I was expecting. It was what I was expecting, but not what I wanted to have on the card. It's basically the difference. So, anyway, we talked tonight about what we thought was going to start this off, and I was pretty sure they weren't going to put Ty Dillinger out first against Andrade, Cien, Almas. I thought maybe they'd start with the tag match. Just to get the crowd really up and going. But, I mean, they love Ty Dillinger. So tonight started with the beginning of the night was the pre-show. We kind of had it on the background. Renee Corey and Lita was back. Lita was back again. I paid attention to nothing because Lita was there.
You know who wasn't there? The Drifter, because he is injured.
His broken ankle or something.
With an ankle injury of some sort. So we did not get to see... You know how many people are tweeting us, Jay, because we have shit on the Drifter so much. I don't like when people get injured as much as we, say we don't like someone. Never wish that upon anyone.
No, of course
not. It looked to me like maybe the dark match would have been the Drifter versus No Way Jose.
Yeah, I don't know what the dark match was tonight.
Yes.
Maybe we'll get it in feedback or something.
Yes, definitely.
We also had Kathy Kelly and another new guy, Mike Rome. We got rid of a couple dudes that were the reporter guys, and Mike Rome is there now. So, okay. Then there's an interview with the Revival. Scott Dawson was crying. He was pouring eye drops into his eyes. This is kind of funny. He says he's in a fragile state, and I didn't hear a lot of the rest of it. And then we get into the actual pay-per-view, the TakeOver special here. The opening is a produced promo of all the champions from NXT's past, and then there's like a singer screaming in a very Jim Morrison style, "The end is here." And the title of the show is now "The End of the Beginning."
That's right, Jay. The end is here.
What's that? It's been used on WWE before,
they
right?
used it for Armageddon.
Oh, did they?
It was like one of their own produced songs.
Okay.
They remixed it like 9 times.
Okay. Yeah, I knew I'd heard it before. And so match number 1 is Ty Dillinger versus Andrade Cien Almas. He is making his debut. Now, Dillinger comes out first. He is wearing a collar. Let me get this. If Dr. Doom... That's the one that Cody used to play, right? Cody used to do like the parody like Dr. Doom?
Mr. Sinister.
Oh, Mr. Sinister? Yes. That's what he used to play?
I would say that, yeah.
So if Mr. Sinister was a dog and just had an operation and you didn't want him to lick himself, this is the headgear he would wear, is what Ty Dillinger came out wearing here tonight, okay? A cone, like a dog cone, but like not in the front. A big collar.
Me and Bartender Dave may or may not have missed the intro here, smoking out and something in the back. But I did see the what he was wearing. It was cool. It was fine. Ty Dillinger is the guy now. He's the guy to watch. He is what I would like to say. Who's next? He's the one. He's facing.
Not tonight.
Yeah, I mean,
not
tonight we called it saying, hey, it's not great that he's facing someone who's making their debut, but. I feel like they were like, hey, you have 10 minutes out here to do something. And he took that 10 minutes and tried to go with it as far as he could. I love Ty Dillinger now. He's quickly becoming one of my favorite guys to watch just because he's got this simple gift. He's got his own T-shirt now, Jay.
It's very exciting. Ty Dillinger in his own T-shirt is starting stuff off tonight. And Andrade comes out in white pants, white suspenders, and a pimp hat with a huge feather. Your friend Shane said, if Las Boricuas and the Godfather had a child, this guy would be it. This guy should have kept the mask on. I don't understand what the hell they're doing. Anyone that looks like a Los Barrico should not be on TV.
He doesn't mean because he's ugly, but like you mean he should have just been a luchador.
Hey, it was a better gimmick. What do I got here? There's he does a few moves, like there's a moonsault that he misses, but then he does another flip to hit onto his fallen opponent.
Yeah.
And then there's a part where he does a headstand on the turnbuckle, and then Dillinger super kicks him into the face. That was a nice move here. Andrade wins with this finisher, which we called the balls to the face.
BTF, man. Balls to the face.
Bronco Buster, it's or like, you know when the Usos run and turn and hit their ass into the guy's face? It's that, but instead it's just his balls. His knees to balls, right in the face. Balls to the face. BTF.
Evan Bourne does this move. Matt Sydal does these double knees. He used to do it he used to jump off the top rope, and sometimes when the guy is seated, it's kind of like that, but the guy's seated in the corner, but realistically, he's just like, take it, and he jumps at you with his balls to his face.
Balls to face.
I think he could have a better move. I was saying during the match, I hope he has a cool move, because he hit this standing moonsault, and I was like, is that it? Is that his move? But no, it was balls to the face. I think he has potential. I think they're going to call him Andrade when he makes it to the main roster.
Yeah, I think
his name is a little confusing.
The best name to go with here. So he got the win. Next up, we had just an awesome match. Just fantastic. The Revival versus American Alpha. American Alpha are walking in as your NXT Tag Team Champions. This match was so fast-paced, I had to rewind it numerous times in order to just write down stuff that happened in it. There's a huge pop when Jordan and Gable give both of them the ankle lock at the same time. Dawson hits Gable with a huge uppercut, knocks him out of the ring. They attempt to double-team Jordan, but Gable comes off the top rope with a double clothesline, and once again, American Alpha clears the ring of these guys.
Yeah, that seemed to be the story where every time all four guys would get in the ring at the same time, much dismay to the ref, American Alpha would be standing tall. They would be the ones sending them, the Revival, out of the ring. So that was the kind of the story, like, hey, we're better, we're getting things done here. But Revival, I said last week that I think they should have retained the titles here and that they should be going over. Gargano and Ciampa now are NXT's they're hot stars, and they're going to need a program, and I think the Revival is definitely what we're going to need.
Well, that's where we head to. So continuing on in this match here, the Revival trades beating down on Gable. This is the regular way their matches work. They hit him with the stage dive, right? That's the headbangers move they hit him with there.
I loved it.
Jordan gets the hot tag and then takes down the straps, hits a series of suplexes, a near fall on Dash Wilder. Dawson does a sunset flip over top of Dash, who's holding on to Jordan. As Dawson goes for the near fall, no, it's not Dawson that knocks Gable. So then it's Dash knocks Gable off the ring apron with an insane spear.
Yeah,
like an insane
like
spear.
Big E style.
Yeah, it was nuts. Dawson then kicks out of the combined dropkick German suplex from American Alpha. They're about to go to the finisher, American Alpha that is, when Jordan gets pulled off the ring apron. Gable gets Dawson into an ankle lock. That's the second time that's happened in this match. Gable almost gets pinned. Revival goes for the Doomsday device, but Gable catches one of them in midair and does a belly-to-belly in midair, which kind of looks like it's screwed up, but then when they cut to the other camera angle, it looked pretty good.
Yeah, it's like the one... It's the move they messed up at the last show, the move itself, but again, they countered it here, where it's like one of them's going for like a powerbomb-style lift-up, almost like a Doomsday reversed the other way around, and then the other guy's going to jump and either leg drop him or clothesline him off. But yeah, Gable caught him almost like doing like a C4, like a rock bottom, the move where you take the guy for the rock bottom, but you moonsault backwards with him. It's a popular move in the indie scene, and almost like Paul Burchill used to do it. Weird callback, but it looked pretty cool. He caught him like off the guy's shoulders and landed this slam, this belly to belly kind of move, and it looked pretty cool. Yeah.
So Gable's ready to go for the finisher, but gets pushed out of the ring by Wilder. Dash and Dawson then convert into the Shatter Machine, and they get the win. So we've got new champs, Dash and Dawson. And as you were saying, this does make sense because in the last show, we had Ciampa and Gargano get the win over Dash and Dawson, so you have an immediate program with these two. Now, that finish was nuts. There was so much going on at this point.
I like this match. I think this was my favorite match.
It was a great match. I think it was the best match of the card.
Both teams used, again, always going back to the video games, Jay, they did a lot of the double team moves that are in the game. Like they were doing tag team wrestling moves. Both teams. So I really enjoyed it. Revival is needs to be more eyes need to be on them.
So the Revival takes off, and then American Alpha are attacked in the ring by two big dudes in black tank tops and black pants. One looks a lot like D'Lo Brown, but it's not. So these, and I'm going to screw up these names. Pollock posted them up if you want to see them. It's @Law Radio on Twitter. It's Gazim Selmani, the Albanian Psycho, former Bellator fighter, and Sonny Dinsa. So these are two developmental guys. They've gone by the Authors of Pain, which is the tag name they've been using, but they've been wearing hoods when they've been working.
Masks?
Yeah, they've been wearing just black masks, look like kind of executioner like when they've been wrestling on the house shows. They destroy American Alpha with a bunch of big time power finishing maneuvers. I found that they moved around the ring like Anderson and Gallows do, just like big power moves. And then all of a sudden, walking out onto the ramp is Paul Ellering. This is the old manager of Legion of Doom. He appears on the ramp. He's wearing black as well. He's totally color-coded to the way these guys are dressed. These guys walk down the ramp, then they all walk off. So I guess Paul Ellering is now a manager in NXT.
And
strange.
Didn't we were talking, we were
his daughter, right?
Didn't we not see his daughter recently?
Yeah.
In NXT. So the crowd was there was a light chant of "Who are you?"
Yeah, no, I don't think they really got this.
Yeah, it was a strange way to bring.
Would you have? You're young.
Not a chance.
Exactly.
Not a chance. As soon as you said it, I was like, "Oh, wait, I kind of do remember." That guy, that face. But yeah, definitely, I would not have known, especially with brand new two guys. But it's the two guys didn't come off looking super great, in my opinion. It kind of was just okay.
There's your next tag program with those guys.
Yeah, definitely.
So you got two tag programs that have just spun off.
The problem with tag team wrestling is say you're the tag team champions and you finally defend your titles and you lose them. You either continue going on rematching or what have not, and then you kind of die off, and the hotness of you kind of cools off. So you might as well go into another fresh program. So that's kind of what they got to save American Alpha. But I definitely think that American Alpha is going to be called up soon for the brand
draft
split or something.
Yeah.
So maybe these two guys, the Authors of Pain, can write the book and send these guys off, because that's what's going to happen.
So Asuka's shown backstage here. She's warming up with knees, and then Bayley's seen standing behind her and just shakes her hand. The crowd chants for Bayley. That leads us into our next match, which is Shinsuke Nakamura versus Austin Aries. The crowd goes nuts for Nakamura, and more specifically, his theme. They continue to sing his theme and hum his theme
this whole match
as the match starts. Aries has his ribs taped up for this match, and the two, of course, were quite stiff here. There's a series of crazy kicks by Nakamura, each of them taking Aries off his feet. Knees by Nakamura in the corner. Aries hits a dive to the outside and takes control, but Nakamura catches him in a triangle and then starts to damage him with knees. Nakamura goes for the Kinshasa, and Aries catches him and turns it into the last chancery. Nakamura gets to the ropes. It took a bit for him to get to the ropes. I don't know if they were positioned properly here. Aries gets a Hurricane Rana, a drop kick, goes to the top for the 450 splash, but he misses. The two trade blows on the ring apron, and Nakamura hits an Enziguri. Nakamura then runs at Aries on the apron, and what had to be the most dangerous move of the night. Aries turns this into a Death Valley driver on the apron. This was insane.
Yeah, he hits the DVD on the apron, and to me, it looked like he landed on his neck, and then the rest of the match, Nakamura selling it or not selling it was tending to his neck a bit, kind of showing that it was hurting, because it looked like he just landed on it. Anything to do on the apron, as I was saying earlier to you when we were watching, when we went to Ring of Honor here in Toronto at the Gardens, when
a couple years ago,
Michael Bennett hit a pile driver on the apron to BJ Whitmer, which I'm sure many listeners are familiar with. I was there live, and we all watched him just take this dangerous move. The apron is supposed to be, quote unquote, the hardest part of the ring, so it's always dangerous when they hit these moves, but hopefully it was safe. It looked like everything was fine, but crazy. A Death Valley driver on the apron.
Aries then goes to dive onto Nakamura on the outside and ends up going throat first into a guardrail. Nakamura then goes to the top, hits the double knee to the back when Aries is back in the ring, and the exploder suplex, and then Kinshasa for the victory.
Kinshasa, he had to say it twice because he loves saying it. Nakamura should never be beaten. He is he should be the Goldberg. I'm going to say that. He should just not lose. I think there's a war going on.
My God. I have a window open because it gets really hot in this room. I have headphones on. I was like, what is happening? There's a helicopter flying over my house right now.
I think Nakamura should never be defeated, including when he's on the main roster. Like
he should never be defeated when he's never on the main roster.
I think
his first win should be against Goldberg as well to start the undefeated streak.
Nakamura is the kind of guy you can show one of his matches to a non-fan, and they'd be like, at first they'd be like, what the fuck is this? And then by the end of it, they'd be like, okay, I think I like wrestling, because this guy is just mesmerizing to watch. I just I thought this match was good. I just don't think it was, again, going back to comparing, which you shouldn't do, but I always compare. I think the Sami Zayn one was definitely by far a little better. I just think Aries to me is just not clicking with myself. If you're gonna just turn heel, then full out just be a
maybe
heel.
They'll not just turn heel, but turn dirty heel.
Exactly,
as we saw later tonight.
Dirty heels. Did you see the guy dressed as Nakamura?
I didn't see this. No.
They cut to him for like 3 frames of it, like of a second, like nothing. Yeah. But he looked like if Riff Raff was dressed up as Nakamura in cosplay.
Maybe it was Riff Raff. He's a big wrestling fan.
Peach Panther. Very impressive that. But this match was really good. I can't decide if I love this as well. I think Nakamura is definitely on a roll, and he should be main eventing the next TakeOver special.
Well, he should against Joe. NXT Women's title next on the line. Nia Jax versus Asuka. Asuka's walking into the champ. Hey, Nia's now got a bum cape. Just a cape for her bum.
Jason was very
bum cape.
Intrigued with the bum cape.
Bum cape. Nia tosses Asuka more than halfway across the ring. Nia continually does power moves. Asuka finally catches her in a triangle. Just saying, guys. There is a problem with putting Asuka and Nakamura back to back. There are some things they do that are very similar. The use of knees, the triangle here. Like, I don't like seeing these two back to back. And it's the second time Asuka's been in this bad spot where she's had to follow Nakamura. And you should have learned from the last pay-per-view to not do this again.
Yeah, you were saying before the show even started, in the pre-show, that they shouldn't have the Asuka match after the Nakamura match. Now, the story here is a little different compared to when it was Asuka and Bayley versus Nakamura and Sami Zayn.
But yeah, neither of these matches were as good.
I just feel like maybe you're right, but here was a little different because it was Asuka versus Nia Jax and her bum cape. But this one was kind of going with the same story when Bayley had faced Nia Jax in London.
You're always going to get that with Nia Jax,
exactly.
Which is smaller versus bigger, and it's Nia's power. So out of this triangle here, you get a power bomb spot out of it. Nia then throws her around again. Asuka gets a heel hook. Nia misses the thunder thigh thump. Asuka responds with a knee to the face. Asuka chops her down. Yes, basically the Kinshasa. Asuka chopped her down while Nia is seated. She hits the bum to the face move that she does. Goes for a kick. Nia power bombs her. Now that's like the contract signing. That's a nice callback.
It was like a jackknife. She countered a kick and hit this power bomb off the reversal. And it looked pretty good. It looked exactly like a jackknife, Kevin Nash.
So then you had, instead of the near fall or pin there, Asuka manages, as Nia goes down, to convert her into an armbar. Nia escapes. Asuka goes for the Asuka lock, but Nia's too big. That was kind of good. Nia screams at Asuka here. Bartender Dave was so excited when Nia just turned and screamed, and then Asuka kicks her in the face. Hits the ropes, kicks her in the face again, and then gets a pin for the win.
Asuka is what she hit.
Asuka retains.
Yeah, this wasn't. This is what I expected. You said the exact same thing.
That's fine.
This is what I expected. Asuka to me is a character now. As champion, she looks exactly like a champion. She looks like she's like ready to fight, and she was yelling in the match as well in Japanese, screaming. I don't know what she was saying. But it was cool. She's a cool character to watch. She's just similar to Nakamura. Again, it's going back-to-back matches is kind of what actually messes it up. Not that they're both Japanese, but the fact that
stylistically,
they're both doing the triangles. They're both doing the kicks and the knees and stuff like that. So it's very, very similar. Nia Jax isn't as bad as people say she is. And with her bum cape, she had a weird outfit coming out here too.
She had the same outfit with a bum cape.
It was like you were saying the Mr. Sinister thing. She kind of has that vibe going on. Like like almost like Ursula from Little Mermaid.
Okay, yeah, well, that's more so. All right, Regal's with the new reporter girl. She talks about his excitement about the steel cage, Full Sail, blah, blah, blah. It's all an excuse for Bobby Roode to walk by in the background behind him and then walk into his office, and Regal excuses himself. So I'm assuming we see Bobby Roode on the next TV show.
Yes.
NXT Championship match. It's Finn Balor versus Samoa Joe. It's in the cage, guys. And Joe dominates the early part of the match. Finn gets tossed around. He's climbing to the top and is standing on the top rope and just kicks Joe smack in the face.
Holy
And then
cow.
he's tired, so as Joe's reeling from that, and then Finn manages to crotch himself as he falls. Later in the match, Finn runs at Joe. He gets thrown down. Joe goes for a muscle buster, but Finn rolls out of it. As both men try to climb out at one spot, Finn hits a sling blade to Joe off the top rope, then another sling blade in the ring. He then misses the dropkick of death, and Joe gets a muscle buster, but Finn kicks out. Finn throws Joe into the cage 2 times. Then he does 2 drop kicks of death. Then he does a coup de grace. Joe kicks out.
Oh my goodness.
Then he tries for a Bloody Sunday. It's converted into the Coquina Clutch. Finn escapes. Double foot stomp. After that, Finn tries to climb up to escape. Joe catches him as he's on the top. Joe's standing on the second rope. Finn has 1 foot over the cage trying to escape. Joe pulls him back in on top of him, puts him in the muscle buster position, and hits, as Corey Graves called it, a super muscle buster. It's from the second rope.
It was the top. It was the top rope. He
No.
was like it wasn't on the
No.
very
You
top?
can't. He couldn't balance that. He was on the second rope.
He turned around.
Yeah.
Cool.
He was not on the top rope, so he was on the second rope, and he was able to grab Finn, turn, and drop him.
Either way, looked a very cool
Yeah, it was
finish. I can't wait to see it in WWE 2K17.
Everything is relating to the goddamn video game.
Trust
for
me,
you
Jay.
tonight.
People understand.
Is it because you smoked earlier and now you just want to play video games?
No. I like this match. From the entrances, the demon here was in a white and black attire, almost the Venom-inspired paint that he's had in New Japan. It's, some people are going to think Balor Club or the club.
Yeah.
It could be, kind of teasing that. He did lose here tonight. What's next for Finn Balor? It was the end. So is he going to be on the main roster with the club or whatever? So you have this cool entrance, and then it cuts to Samoa Joe's entrance while Finn is waiting, perked up on the top rope in the cage in the corner, just waiting for him. And Samoa Joe's music hits, the hip hop instrumental, and he just walks out like a gangster, like he's just an original gangster. Like you go from one end of the spectrum to the other with the cool entrance with the mist and the weird thing to that, and it's just a very good contrast there. I think this match was good. The cage was different because it's in Full Sail, and we were wondering if it was just going to come down like it can't just come down like a normal cage, or do they just build it like TNA? And it was kind of this transforming cage, like
the sides came down, so like they folded up to the ceiling and they came down.
Yeah, it was pretty cool to see. The door was on the other way. There was a lot of them teasing like which one's going to exit through the door or climb over. But
it was a regular cage match.
I know. I just feel like because Samoa Joe came in and he shut the door closed like the Undertaker does when he goes into the Hell in a Cell. And it's like if you're doing that, then why would you try to win by walking out the door when you're the one who closed it? I like this.
It's going to be closed. They're having a match. It has to be closed.
I don't
understand what you're saying.
I like cage matches when it's like pin or submission only. I get the fact that the climbing out and landing on your feet just never appealed to me. I always like that you finish by a pin or submission. This match was good. What did you think of comparing it to their last two?
It didn't have the blood.
That's right.
That was that one had a lot more drama to it, I thought, than this. It was fine. It was good. This whole event, it was good. It just wasn't the best. For a WWE pay-per-view. This is great.
It'd be great. It would be fantastic.
For an NXT TakeOver, I have very high expectations. And it was good. I wasn't disappointed.
Yes.
I wasn't disappointed at all. But, again, to me, it lacked the women's match. I don't know. Like, the Dillinger thing was fine. The other three were fine, I guess. It was fine. The tag match was great. To me, tag match stole the show.
Yeah,
everything about it was great. I couldn't even keep up following it.
I think that now we go to Samoa Joe versus Nakamura.
Yep.
Main event.
That's it.
TakeOver Brooklyn.
You bet. That's going to be nuts.
That sounds pretty insane.
But before we do that, we're going to go to our feedback.
Dash Wilder is liking all my tweets about
Is he?
I said, no flips, just championships. That's what their new shirt should say.
You liked it?
Yes. I'd be surprised if that will be in their promo this thing. They're like, hey, that rhymes. Let's say that.
No flips, just championship. Oh, yeah, that's more of a rhyme than Andre from Edmonton.
Yes. What is alliteration? Is a word that I learned from you when you said that.
Delightful. All right. I'll read some, too, because I'm here. I'll even start. Jesse from the 6. Views on TakeOver, the end.
Views.
Great show, especially great finishes. Second rope muscle buster, Asuka's kicks and finishing sequence to Nakamura Aries were all great. The notable exception being Andrade's
running, I guess.
Oh, I guess it's supposed to be running dick thrust finish. Well, that's another term for it.
Dick thrust. Balls to the face.
I especially like the finish to Asuka Jax, as I believe it lends some realism to the product. Not every match should end with a wrestler powering up a special move. It makes sense that sometimes one wrestler just kicks the other in the head enough times to win. That's a very good point. What do you think happens with American Alpha if they're called up for the brand split? Surely that's not enough time to complete the program with the two fat dudes. Also, the new interviewer, Andrade, is fine. Ah, yes, fine as fuck. I gotcha. When I see her, I feel how Braden must feel when he sees any woman ever.
Yes.
So we'll skip that last thing and instead talking about American Alpha. They can do both. Like, let's face it, they can come back and finish that program even though they're on another roster.
And hey, the brand split isn't for a while.
Yeah, it's not until July.
We got some tapings in NXT.
Yeah, they're supposed to be able to get to the next pay-per-view, right? The next TakeOver.
That's true.
Next.
That could happen. Martin from Montreal. Pretty decent NXT special. Best match by far was the steel cage match and the tag team title match. I can't wait to see more of this new tag team that attacked American Alpha. Also, I didn't like the Nakamura Aries match at all. It put me to sleep, and I expected more from these two. I have to say that Nia Jax had her best performance since debuting, and she finally seemed comfortable in her monster role. In the end, not the strongest special, but still entertaining, and we can see what's next from here.
Yep. Peter from Toronto says, my question is simple. Of the four, Nakamura, Aries, Joe, and Balor, who do you think gets called up last?
Oh, Aries.
Yeah, I think Aries, and not for the right reasons. I just think Aries is going to stay down on NXT and be kind of like the glorified enhancement guy down there. And I think it's going to go Balor first, Joe second, Nakamura third, and then maybe Aries, if at all. He says the end result has to be all four of these men on the main roster either around draft time or shortly afterwards. No. Don't expect that. Don't expect Nakamura in the draft. I'm hoping Joe goes.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, now with Mark Hunt, like we talked about this while we were watching tonight. Best case scenario, and congratulations Tariq for saying it on the weekend, but nothing to do with any family or being his son, like you said. But Mark Hunt, Brock Lesnar fight. Brock Lesnar beats Mark Hunt. Yeah, Samoa Joe storms out the next time Brock Lesnar's on Raw and says, I'm a Samoan that you can't beat. And it's a beautiful program. No bloodlines.
Hey, I don't care. At this point, I don't care what the storyline is. You don't need a storyline. Just announce the match and have nothing, and I'd still watch it. Samoa Joe needs to be on the main roster, and Samoa Joe needs to have a match with Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, at WrestleMania next year.
It's great. Money. Like, come on. Let's go. Let's just do it.
We'll see, though. I mean, Brock could kind of be a little bit damaged if Mark Hunt does knock him out in 30 seconds, and that's my prediction.
And that's probably what's going to happen. Dan from Baltimore, decent TakeOver. Network issues did not help. My feed kept buffering. Did anyone else have these issues? Best matches for me were the American Alpha and the Revival, and then Balor and Joe. The NXT note in general, can we get rid of Dillinger, No Way Jose, Nia Jax, and the Drifter? What's wrong with Ty Dillinger?
Yeah, Ty Dillinger is good. All of those are fine. Whatever.
Listen,
everyone needs a place.
There's reasons for all these characters, and yeah.
Sean H. from Calgary, solid TakeOver from start to finish. Cien was great in ring despite his Godfather-esque entrance attire and ugly name. Yeah, the name is just confusing. Who's next for Joe, Roode or Nakamura? Nakamura.
Is Roode
Unless they put a program in between with Roode. I mean, they could do that.
Yeah, they definitely will.
But Nakamura is going to be TakeOver Brooklyn. That would be my prediction.
Samoa Joe versus Nakamura at Brooklyn before SummerSlam sounds very good. That sounds like like you were saying, hey, who would you rather see? Is Finn versus Nakamura or Joe versus Nakamura? It's realistically, I want to see Joe versus Nakamura. So that's what I want to see, and hopefully that happens. I'm down for Bobby Roode, whatever he wants to go by, and and in NXT. I was going to say TNA. In NXT, but
I don't want to see him versus Joe, though.
No, I don't want to see him in NXT TNA people. I want to see him in someone fresh.
Yeah.
So who does Roode go to?
No way, Jose.
Yeah. Is it your turn? Or
no, you.
Turn?
Chris from Melbourne,
I'm used to reading all of them, Jay.
Mm-hmm.
Chris from Melbourne, Australia. Another good takeover. For me, match of the night was Nakamura and Aries. Are you guys going to watch either Breaking Ground Reloaded or Triple H live interview? No. Sadly, I suffer major lagging issues during most of TakeOver, which took me right out of it. I tried to watch it on my PS4, PC, and cell phone. Only would play 30 seconds and stop. So
clearly there are problems.
You know what? I actually we watched it on here in Canada. We get the actual channel on the Rogers, and I prefer that. I actually always have issues when I use the internet version.
Oh,
like when I stream it on Google Chrome or Firefox, I usually have an issue. It'll play for maybe 20 minutes and then it'll fuck up, and I'll have to refix it. So it could be an issue. He says, "Bring on House of Hardcore. Just 2 weeks away in Melbourne." People. I like the Nakamura and Aries match. I don't think it was bad, but we were watching a bit of Breaking Ground Reloaded. I definitely do want to check that out. And the Triple H interview, they said they might address the Bobby Roode's things, but it didn't sound like they were going to talk about too much else.
Yeah, we're doing a show instead of watching those things, so we didn't watch it. Okay, next up, finally, I'd say Alexander from Portland. Finally, Joe and Balor are done. I've enjoyed their feud, but have missed seeing different talent in the main event scene. Was it me, or was it the best match Nia Jax has had? Yes, it was. She looked vicious, and her constant taunts and no-selling made the match feel like something I'd see from Japan. I'm even happier that neither competitor was able to get their finisher in. I gotta say, though, that eye zoom in during Jack's entrance is atrocious and doesn't work. I agree with you. I pointed that out last week. It does not work. It's not a steady enough camera to do that with.
No, I like
and the
it.
lighting does not complement.
They did it twice. The second time, it looked good.
No,
the first time.
Didn't. Why do you think Warcraft is choosing to advertise in WWE programming so much? I don't see that much of a layover between pro wrestling and World of Warcraft players. Well, I don't know. Maybe
my friend Cameroon is obsessed with the World of Warcraft.
Well, there you go.
And used to love Shawn Michaels, so there's wrestling.
Who do you have for Money in the Bank, Cena or Styles? With the promos that happen Monday, I can't see Styles losing.
AJ
maybe
Styles.
Balor will interfere.
There you go. He was dressed up in the Bullet Club paint anyways.
Yeah, that's what everyone's going to be saying tonight.
Yes. Josh from Queens, New York. Really enjoyable show. Cien was good except for his odd stripper outfit. Tag match was solid and had a surprising finish. Nakamura and Aries were solid, but didn't have the flow that Zayn and Nakamura had. Also, my wife, who hates wrestling, was singing along and dancing to Nakamura's theme. Women that were there, but nothing special. And the main event delivered and saved the show from being just a mediocre network special. Excited to see where Balor goes from here, and curious about Roode and what he does during the tapings.
Wow, what a night. American Alpha versus the Revival stole the show. Revival are two-time champs. Nakamura, Aries was a decent match. Can't believe Asuka knocked out Nia. Not the ending I expected. My boy Joe retained. What a muscle buster. My goodness. What a lack of punctuation. Yes. Overall, a decent show, and Ty Dillinger was way more over than Almas. Hopefully he moves up and starts winning more.
That's why, like, you just kind of started pushing Ty Dillinger, and then you bring in someone new. They already know who Ty Dillinger is, and he was doing his shtick, and it was getting over. And then
this is what we need C.J. Parker for.
I miss C.J. Parker.
I know.
Is that weird to say?
It's what he needs to be there for.
Juice, I miss you. Whatever he goes by, it's weird. I really do miss C.J. Parker. I guess I'll just have to go see the new Baywatch movie with The Rock to get my C.J. Parker
there we go.
fill. Mata from San Jose, good takeover as I double screened it to watch my beloved Warriors. Best matches were Nakamura and Aries and the tag match, and I would say Andrade's debut was real good. Does the run-in beatdown mean that American Alpha is starting a new feud? If so, who goes after the titles? I think that is pretty obvious.
Yeah, pretty obvious, pal.
Ciampa and Gargano.
Come on, Mata.
They beat them, yeah. For the main event being the first ever cage match in NXT, it was good, but the comparison to all the cage matches, it could have used more. So 7 out of 10 and go Warriors. Again, I'm not a huge fan of cage. Like, I can't name what was the best cage match you've ever seen. Like, I can't really. Cage matches don't really stick in my head as much as normal matches.
Hulk Hogan, Paul Orndorff, Saturday Night's Main Event, when they both jumped to the ground at the same time.
They're going to say Jimmy Snuka jumping off the cage.
Nah, that was a little before me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I also don't like murderers. Great show tonight. My only gripe is with the post-show being on Facebook Live. What is the point of having a network that you are not putting post-show content on? I watch on iPad, and Facebook Live uses Flash to run, so unfortunately I can't watch it without turning on my slow laptop. Well, I don't know what to tell you, pal. They do that a lot, and I agree. They should put a post-show, if they're going to do it, on the network and then do Breaking Ground afterwards. So I agree with you, but also, I don't know.
Sure.
Get something that plays Flash.
I put up a poll here for the feedback. I'm sure a lot of feedback is going to fill in because we usually do on these specials, but we're going to probably just stop it there. But the feedback, I put a poll asking what the best match is. But just going through the feedback, it seems to be either the Nakamura Aries or the tag team titles. Yeah. But here, the tag team title match has just a few more votes than Aries and Nakamura. So clearly the tag team title match is your favorite match of the night?
Yes, it is.
I think it was my favorite as well. It was just classic. Revival is definitely the old school classic wrestling team. No flips, just championships. I love them. I think it was good, and I think that was the best match of the show as well. I'm not saying anything against the other matches. I was into that one. It was pretty good. Overall, it was a solid takeover special, and I liked it. But now, I just always like looking forward to these takeover specials because now I just really want to see Nakamura and Samoa Joe, and then I want to see Nakamura remain undefeated and Samoa Joe get brought up in time to build his WrestleMania program with Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, well, we'll see what goes on. That's it for us tonight. More of a quicker one here because we didn't ramble about our personal lives for 20 minutes off the top. And here is... if you're listening and you want to listen to The Law on Sunday night, if San Jose wins tomorrow, and that means we got to go to a Game 6 on Sunday. We're going to be delayed till midnight. However, if the Penguins finish them, then we're on at our regular time at 11 p.m. on Sunday night for The Law. This is the part where Braden rambles.
Yes. Follow us on Twitter. Agnew Jason, B-Bray-D, Law Radio. What are you doing? Thank you for listening. I appreciate you. I love you. Be safe.
This is the end.